Nathan makes $11,000 a month. And right now, sitting on his $3,000 leather couch, he's just run the math that's about to ruin his night. If his paycheck stopped tomorrow, he couldn't survive 60 days. Behind him, an 80-inch TV, a kitchen full of gadgets still in their boxes, a spare bedroom he can't walk into anymore, packed to the ceiling with things he forgot he owned. Nathan isn't reckless. He doesn't gamble. He just let a lifestyle quietly grow until it swallows every dollar the second it lands. 2 floors down, same building, same rent, lives Claire. She makes $4,000 a month, less than half of Nathan. But walk into her place and the first thing you feel is space. And when Claire opens her banking app, she feels the one thing Nathan's $11,000 can't buy him: calm. 18 months of expenses saved, 20% of every paycheck invested. Same building. The woman earning less than half has 10 times the security. How is that possible? Hold on to that question, because the answer has nothing to do with income. It's a hidden relationship between what you own and what you actually have. And most people never figure it out their entire lives. I'm going to give you 10 rules that decide which of these 2 apartments you end up in. One of them is going to feel completely backwards, like it's costing you money when it's actually saving you the most. And by the end, I'll show you why this whole thing runs in reverse. Why people like Claire don't just end up with more money, they find it easier and easier to keep it. But first, one idea that changes how you see every purchase for the rest of your life. Everything you own costs you twice. The first cost is the price tag. The second is the one almost nobody counts, and it's usually bigger. You're paying it right now and you don't feel a thing. It hides in space. Say you pay $2,000 a month for 1,000 square feet. That's $24 a year for every square foot you rent. That treadmill you bought in January and now drape laundry over eats about 10 square feet, so you're paying $240 a year in rent to store a coat rack. It hides in your nervous system. Researchers at UCLA's Center on Everyday Lives of Families measured cortisol, the stress hormone, in people's saliva and found that those who described their homes as cluttered carried unhealthier stress patterns all day. Your stuff is quietly raising your baseline stress, and you'll never consciously feel it. And it hides in the cost that never hits a receipt. Every dollar frozen in possessions is a dollar that isn't compounding. That $8,000 home theater invested instead at the S&P 500's long-run average of about 10% a year becomes over $33,000 in 15 years. So you didn't buy a home theater. You bought it instead of $33,000 of future freedom. That's the second cost. Here are the 10 rules that beat it. Rule 1, run cost per use before you buy. Estimate honestly how many times you'll use a thing, then divide the price by that number. A $150 jacket worn twice costs $75 a wear. A $300 jacket worn 200 times costs $1.50. The expensive one is cheaper where it counts. A $1,500 mattress used every night for a decade, 41 cents a night for something that shapes your health every day you're alive. Rule 2, apply the replacement test to everything you own. Walk your home and ask of each object one question. If this vanished tonight, would I buy it again? Be brutally honest. That bread maker, those skis from one trip 4 years ago. For most of your stuff, the answer is no. It's there by inertia, not intention, and it carries negative value. It costs you space, upkeep, and attention, and gives you nothing back. Rule 3, never upgrade out of boredom. Here's the pattern I see over and over in people with great incomes and nothing to show for it. They replace things that work perfectly because a newer version exists. According to reviews.org's 2025 smartphone lifespan report, the average American swaps phones every 29 months and pays around $634 each time, usually while the old one still works. Stretch that to 5 years and you free up thousands over a lifetime. An object is functional until it can't do its job. Boredom is not a malfunction. Rule 4, add friction to spending, remove it from saving. Behavior takes the path of least resistance, so delete your saved cards from every store. Put a 24 24-hour hold on anything non-essential. Delete the shopping apps, then make saving automatic. One transfer to your brokerage the day you're paid. Treat it as a fixed bill, not whatever's left at the end of the month. Willpower is gone by 9 p.m. Your setup runs while you sleep. Rule 5. Count what you own. It feels ridiculous until you do it. Pick one category and count: shirts, shoes, apps you haven't opened in a year. The number almost always shocks people, because the moment you know you own 43 shirts, buying a 44th stops feeling like shopping. Set a ceiling per category and live by one law: one in, one out. Now stop, because here's where this flips. Everything so far sounds like it's about spending less. It isn't, and I know that because for years I was Nathan. Good income, nice things, and a bank balance that made me sick to open. I told myself I just didn't earn enough yet. The real problem was uglier. I had no idea what I was trading for all that stuff. I was trading my own freedom, one purchase at a time. The day that clicked, everything changed, because this was never about deprivation. It's about buying back your choices. Hold that for the last 5 rules, because that's where the real money is. Rule 6, rent or borrow before you buy. And this is the one that feels backwards. Most gear gets used hard for 3 weeks, then dies in a closet. So before you commit, rent it. Want to get into cycling? Rent a bike a few weekends. Curious about photography? Borrow a camera before you drop $2,000. Paying to rent feels like waste, but it's the cheapest insurance against becoming a museum of your own abandoned hobbies. Rule 7, understand the lifestyle multiplier. Every big purchase drags an ecosystem behind it. Buy a boat and you've really bought a trailer, a slip, storage, insurance, and fuel. AA's 2025. Your driving cost study puts the true cost of owning a new vehicle at $11,577 a year, nearly $1,000 a month once you count depreciation, insurance, and fuel, not just the payment. A $5,000 purchase is often a $10,000 decision. Rule 8, define enough before the money arrives. This is the trap that eats high earners alive. They never decide what enough looks like, so they never reach it. The raise comes, the lifestyle rises to meet it, and now they need another raise just to feel progress. Someone earning $8,000 a month can feel as squeezed as someone earning $3, because their expectations grew as fast as their paycheck. So decide it in advance, in writing. What home is enough? What car actually meets your needs? Then earn toward that line instead of dragging it further away every year. Rule 9, measure your wealth in options, not objects. The normal way to measure wealth is by what you have. Claire measures it by what she can choose. Can you walk away from a job that's wrecking your health? Take 3 months off for a family emergency? Say no to well-paid work that violates everything you believe? Those options are the real wealth, and they only exist for people who built a gap between what they earn and what they spend. Every purchase quietly trades a piece of that freedom for a thing. Sometimes it's worth it. Usually it isn't. Rule 10, declutter on a cycle, not once a year. Most people do one giant purge, feel free for 3 weeks, then reaccumulate until they're right back where they started. So skip the purge, a weekly glance at what came in. A monthly pass through one category. Pulling 3 things out a week is effortless and permanent. Pulling 200 out at once never actually happens. So here's your plan, and it starts today. This week, walk your home with the replacement test and find 10 things you wouldn't buy again. Sell them, donate them, toss them, and notice how it feels to let go of things you never really wanted. This month, put the 24-hour rule on every non-essential purchase and count how many urges survive the wait. That number tells you how much of your spending is impulse, not intention. This quarter, count 3 categories, set a ceiling on each, and set up one automatic transfer into your investment account. This year, write down what enough looks like in every major category, then read it back every time you're tempted to move the line. Now, remember Nathan, 2 floors up, $11,000 a month, 60 days from a crisis, a treadmill buried under a week of laundry, and Claire, half the income, 10 times the freedom. Here's what nobody tells you about them. The relationship runs both ways. Owning less creates money, but having money makes owning less feel natural. When your savings are deep and your investments are growing, the itch to accumulate fades, because the need underneath most purchases purposes, security, status, safety, is already met by the number in your account. So spending less builds security. Security kills the emotional pull to spend, and that builds security faster. Every turn of the wheel powers the next. That's the loop I promised you. The reverse spins just as hard. Overspending breeds insecurity. Insecurity drives more spending, and the wheel grinds the wrong way until something breaks. Nathan and Claire both exist. One never questioned the idea that more things means a better life. The other reached a rare clarity about what actually matters. Both lives are open to you at whatever you earn right now. The only real question left is this: do you own your things, or do your things own you? If this gave you something worth keeping, subscribe and hit the bell. Every week we break down concrete strategies to build real wealth and take back control of your money. Then drop a comment. Which rule are you starting with? And if someone you know needs to hear this, send it to them. It can change the entire direction of a life.